Welcome back as we stay with the latest breaking news updates coming in from inside the courtroom. As the court is also a little upset. Rizwan Siddiqui, I don't know whether you've been following the minute-by-minute detail of what's happening inside the court, but the court very upset, saying that we will not allow further submissions by some of the petitioners. We have already noted you people, that is the Chief Justice of the Karnataka High Court, saying that you people cannot decide who is to argue first. Let one thing be clear, we will hear only one counsel in one case because there are so many petitioners, so many representations coming in. The court says you are not able to decide who will argue. I will only allow one advocate for one petitioner. And the court saying that Sanjay Hegde has already made his argument. We will not hear anyone else. Please don't waste time of the court. We will hear the other counsels. And the court is also adding, let us first understand the status of the petitioner. She has filed another writ petition and has filed a withdrawal memo in the other petition. In that case, we will allow the withdrawal of another. So some technical arguments going on, but before we came to this point, the court also asked those who wanted the hijabs to be worn in class, the petitioners who are arguing, citing foreign judgments. Before I go across to the live updates, I'd like to get your view, Rizwan Siddiqui. There was a South African judgment, and I think it was earlier there was a Malaysian judgment, and then a Canadian judgment was also cited. The court at some point said, what is the relevance of all of these judgments to India and our constitution? So, do they hold in a case like this, especially when it's a constitutional issue?
A lot of times earlier also, the Supreme Courts have taken into consideration American judgments, British judgments from the United Kingdom, as well as a lot of judgments from the other countries also, if it helps. But that is not, which is so important in this case. The most important part in this particular case, which I personally feel, is that the order which came in the on the 5th of February, just before the exams, raking this kind of an issue. I think this is more of a politically motivated issue because hijab has been worn in the country for a very long period of time now. It's not that suddenly women have started or girls have started wearing hijab. And in any event, what is most important, the duty of the state is to ensure that it somehow looks towards, in the direction of educating the women, the female child, because the literacy rate in the country is, as compared to male child, is quite less. Even if you look at the National Family Health Survey, which was conducted about 3 years ago, if you look at the literacy rate as compared to women, between men and women, the women is much, much lesser. And in the state of Karnataka, I think it is the 8th lowest in the country. So what I personally feel, whether hijab or no hijab, I'm not going to be getting into that so much. The important part is that where we should be encouraging girls to go out and study, to come and attend schools and to work towards, progressing in particular fields, whatever they choose to. Instead, what we see, we are debating here and the order, the timing of the order, and the religious the arguments based on religion and so on and so forth, which is creating more chaos and raising eyeballs. So I personally feel the focus should be more on educating the girl child and ensuring that if she wants to protect her modesty and if she feels, forget the religion part for the time being, if a girl feels that she wants to protect her modesty, and because of that particular thing, she wants to cover her body parts in a specific way, I think she should be allowed to do that. I don't think there should be any issue, or I don't think this becomes in any way, a debate for public order, because public order was decided by the Supreme Court division bench in a matter in Piyush Kantilal Mehta versus Commissioner, and the Supreme Court's division bench was very clear what a public order would mean. And this particular case, when somebody is wearing the hijab, that hijab is not creating any kind of disturbance to or danger to life, property, or public health. So I really don't see any problems here with the hijab. So the debate, though we are making this to be a religious debate, and whether constitutional will allow these kind of debates in the Supreme Court tomorrow, where the rights of a particular girl from a particular religion should be entertained or not entertained, that is, if you look at the aim and object of the entire thing is that if the girl wants to study and she wants to wear a particular, and in any event, no state law can challenge the constitutional validity of, or for example, if a state law is not in conjunction, not in juxtaposition with the Constitution of India, the Supreme Court has the right to basically strike down those provisions of law. So I don't want to get into the merits of whether hijab is mandatory, not mandatory, whether it should be allowed, not allowed. The important question here would be that the girl should be allowed to study the way she wants to study, as long as she's not creating any disturbance. She's not creating any nuisance. She's not creating any danger to life, property, or public health. I don't see any issue here, whether being a Muslim or a Hindu or whichever religion that particular person is.
Yeah, stay with me, Swapnil. I'll take a short break and come back with the live updates from the courtroom. There is another petitioner who's arguing right now. Just a couple of observations and arguments being made. This is Advocate Professor Kumar taking the court through the facts of the case, saying that his client was prevented from entering the school, that a girl was prevented from entering the school from December 28th. And so they're banking upon a decision taken on the 31st of December. And that they say, the state says there is a code of conduct of institution, while arguing that there is no code of conduct in place as such, saying the government is examining the larger issue of dress code and uniform issue as per the level, the education level. So we'll take a break and we'll come back. Seems like another day of marathon hearings that will continue, but the court is upset with so many petitions and representations being made. An interesting development, by the way, before I take the break, came in last night into our newsrooms, where one of the petitioners, for at least 5 of the students who are protesting, asked the court to adjourn. So after going to court and then rushing to the Supreme Court and asking for an urgent hearing, suddenly last night there was a petition, and the students, 5 of them, wanted to adjourn this hearing until the end of the election, saying that politicians are taking advantage of it. Late realization perhaps, or perhaps an attempt to maybe delay the protest, try and delay this, stretch this a little bit more. Well, questions can be asked.